Oh, I said I would do this thing every time that um had a dream or a nightmare, or I think I said night. That I would share it, but um I would stream it, like do a short stream and recite it. But I don't think I can recite this on Twitch, so record it and put it on Twitter or something. So I just look up from it. Oh. I don't remember how the dream started. But I'm under the impression that I hadn't seen my dad in a really long time, which I haven't, like in real life. Um, so I was finally gonna get to see him again, or I'm going to finally see him again. And he says like he's gonna take me out to McDonald's or whatever. And so I'm gonna skip out a lot of the parts because it's like whatever. It's a lot of talking that won't make sense. So we meet up somewhere else before we go to McDonald's, and we're talking, doing whatever. It's like late at night for some reason. It's like obviously dark. Probably like 8 or 9 on daylight savings or whatever. I say this specifically because a lot of things were still open. Like it was probably a weekend or something. There was a lot of people out, and like there were a bunch of people at the bowling alley, and these were places we passed as we were going to McDonald's. Just people out and everywhere. And going to McDonald's, we go in. I think we order something, but then we go back out to the front. And we see this girl that I used to know, and I guess she's attached to a very large crowd of bad people that I used to know. And so it was really sketchy. But I talked to her because she was never really like a bad person. So she was like leaning on my car because that's the car we went in. And her and I are like talking, and then I just stopped talking to her. And then she starts talking to my dad. And the car door was next to mine. Like the driver's seat opens, and I don't know if I knew this person, which it could have been attributed as well to the group of people who were not so nice. But I didn't feel comfortable. Like I felt something was gonna go wrong. And they're talking or whatever, and then another guy gets out of the car from the passenger side. And like they're talking, and then the girl stops talking to my dad, and then the guys start talking to my dad, and that goes on for like 15-20 seconds, and then randomly they shoot me, or try to. They hit me, but it didn't hurt. They shot me like in the side of the head, and then they shot my dad. Like they shot him 21 times. And as they were shooting him, I like took off. Like I ran. And I had his phone, so I called the cops. And they answer whatever. They're like, "Who's this? It's an emergency." And I specifically tell them, like, because I know exactly where the McDonald's was. It was a real McDonald's where I used to live. It was the exact street and like the exact spot because I have a photographic memory for being there so many times. I tell them, and they say, "Oh, okay." They're like, "Well, what happened?" I'll try to match their tone of how the "oh, okay." That's how they said it, and I'll try to match the tone of everything that they said. Um, he goes, um, yeah, he goes, "Oh, well, what happened?" So I tell him like these two guys like shot my dad, and oh, also the as they were shooting, their car caught on fire, so I assumed that they blew up or something. I don't know how that. I don't know why or what happened. Um, so I told him like my dad got these two guys shot my dad, and their car caught on fire, and I ran. Um, and he's like, "Well, how many times did he get shot?" And I said, "I guess," and I just like thought of like whatever number. I was like 20. He said, this was a guy who answered the call. He goes, "Oh, 20 times. That was close. It was 21 times." And I said, uh, "Was it already reported?" This was very shortly after. And he said, eh. And I said, "So there's cops there?" And he goes, "No, not yet." And so I like paused for a moment, and then I jumped over this fence that led into a neighborhood that I knew because it's the area that I knew. And the layout was fucked, but I ended up around the corner after going for a little bit at my friend's house. And so like I'm traumatized to an extent, but I'm not going to act weird around my friends. So we all start talking, and I haven't seen these guys in a long time, but I know they're still friends. And I know they all work together. It's so cute. It's not really like started a business, but they all work for the same people, and they're like house, not remodelers, but like they fix up houses basically. And so like they're all in their uniforms, like talking to each other, and I like pull up around the side of their house and we start talking. Blah blah blah. And we're talking and we're like catching up and like yada yada yada. And then they tell me that when I don't remember what names they said, like they're when such and such get here, we're gonna talk about fixing the house across the street, because I guess the house across the street was like abandoned and somebody wanted or whatever. And so talking, and then 3 more guys show up, and it's 3 more guys show up, and a girl shows up, and it's the 2 guys from the McDonald's and the girl from McDonald's. And so I'm like, okay. And I just kind of let them talk about their business or whatever. And they like go inside, like all but 2 of them go inside to like my friend's house to go get shit. And I'm outside with 2 of my other friends. And I'm just sitting there listening to them talk. And then they go across the street to the house to start working on it or whatever. But it was only the 2 guys and the girl that went. The girl doesn't work there. She was following them. And so she goes. They all go. whatever. My friends stay there, and I say, okay, hey, I'll be right back. And I just go into my friend's house, and it, it wasn't his house, but it was a house that I had been to before that I knew where stuff was. And I grabbed a knife, and then I went back outside to my friends, and I said something, I don't remember. And I followed the two guys and the girl into the other house. And I'll just say I killed them, all of them. But it was very vivid on how I did it. And it was very slow, because that part of the dream lasted the longest out of all the dream. Maybe not. Maybe very close. It was at least almost half of the dream of what happened. And then I woke up. That's it. Hope you have I don't sound like shit too badly. And I hope you have a good day. Fuck. Bye.